Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel, Marco Collective Gamer 77. So there is actually one other piece that I had forgotten to actually record and publish out. So this is the Game & Watch from Nintendo, limited to Mario's anniversary. This version actually is the UK version. I had ordered this months ago when it was first announced. Amazon UK ships to the United States, and I didn't want to try to beat some of the scalpers or try to stay up late trying to get it pre-ordered on Amazon, Target, or Best Buy, as they kept on running out thanks to scalpers. If you can find this, it's normally retails for about $49.99. It is of course based on the Game & Watch systems of handhelds that Nintendo had released, goodness, quite a few years ago, back in the 80s. This one of course is in full color and also acts like an alarm clock. The included game is Super Mario Bros. And of course, some folks have already started modding it and installed their own custom ROMs. I will be keeping mine pretty much default and just stock. And as you can see here, the slipcase itself actually has some of the designs on it. So once you do slide it off, pretty unique, so then that way you can still use it after you set up your Game & Watch. Once you do slide the Game & Watch out, you've got a USB cable to charge it, and it is USB-C. You got the Game & Watch itself, pretty well packaged in here. And here we are, here's the unit. Nice, small size, buttons feel pretty good, used for the D-pad. I am going to be charging this and then turning it back on after at least an hour or so. But it does feel nice. Feels like good quality plastic. It doesn't feel cheap. Screen is a good size for what it is, and makes a nice little, little nostalgia, especially in the Famicom colors of red and gold. It's about just a little bit wider or taller than an NES pad. Of course, the A and B buttons are a little smaller, and it's got a different feel, definitely more like the Game & Watch buttons versus an NES controller. Alright everyone, this will be a pretty short and kind of quick overview of the Game & Watch 35th anniversary for the Mario celebration. As you can see here, it does resemble the old school Game & Watch in Famicom colors. There's a pretty simple D-pad, rubberized A and B buttons. You've got a game button, time button, and settings. On the top, nothing too much there. On the side, you do get, of course, the power button, USB-C port for charging. Nothing really in the back, and nothing underneath. Turning on the system, and the system itself will auto power off, so you do have to turn it on by pressing the power button. Brings it up to the screen, which is nice and bright, evenly lit. You can change the sound by going into settings. Personally, for the calendar piece, I turn off the sound, as it does get a little annoying to have this kind of sound there, as you can hear, at least for the clock piece. So I do lower that down. You can of course change the brightness. It's a good bright LCD. The system itself will power off. After a few seconds, it will retain the time and everything and the date, so that's no problem. If you will press game, you can then select from Super Mario Bros. 1, Mario Bros. 2, which is basically the Lost Levels that was released in Japan, and of course you've got Ball with Mario as far as the main character. This is actually what we played with way back in the day in the 80s. So pressing that, you see that I actually already had started the game. I'm going to go ahead and unpause. This is a very simple game, and of course this was out before the Game Boy, so we were limited on the kind of our choices. So this occupied many hours of our time as kids. So nowadays it's it's definitely pretty simplistic, but it was what we had. To pause it out, and it will save your save state, just press game again. You can go back and choose. So for example, if I choose the first Super Mario Brothers game, and you can choose 1 or 2 players, but it's really just taking turns. buttons for the directional feel pretty good. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the rubberized A and B buttons. It does feel pretty authentic to the old Game & Watch, but I'm just not loving the feel of it. The Game & Watch itself physically has more of a dimension made for kids' hands, so I think that's the main reason why. The screen itself is nice and sharp. There's no slowdown. Sound is good. There's no headphone jack or anything. Let's see if I can slowly get this. I'm trying to do it while off screen. I missed. Let's see, I think I missed it both ways too. Yep, missed the pipe. And then to get out, again, just press game. You can hop into Mario Brothers 2, the Lost Levels. And I actually had pre-started a game there. Oh. And then, of course, to pause it, you can reset as well. So if I press the options button, reset the game, and brings it back to the title screen to start a new game. So that's nice, it at least has some save states. Again, going back, reset. Yes. So this is a pretty cute, nice little kick in nostalgia for folks that grew up with the Game & Watch. I'm glad they released this. It is a limited quantity. Basically retails for about $49.99. When it was originally announced, it was really hard to get. So I actually ended up ordering mine from Amazon UK, and then finally arrived. And of course, with everything, got a little busy. Didn't have a chance to review it. And now, at least for what I've seen, you can get it from Target, Amazon, Best Buy. I do recommend picking it up if you are a fan. It's a cool little, kitschy, nostalgic piece. The one piece that I kind of wish it had, I wish it had a kickstand for the back. So that way you can at least sit up while it's powered on if you're having it in your home office or your desk. Otherwise, it just kind of lays flat and that's what you've got. It does power off by itself. It does still remain still keep the time and everything. So even if I were to, get out and go back to time, I will power it off, power it back on, and of course does retain the time. The battery charge has been pretty decent. It hasn't given me the low battery warning yet, and I've basically not really touched it for about 2 weeks after fully charging it. So it's a cute little kind of nostalgic factor. I think if you've got the means, and I know the hard part is it is Christmas, so other things take priority. But if you do find it and you are a huge fan, child of the 80s, and you do remember the Game & Watch, I do recommend it. And especially if you're a person that doesn't mind tinkering, there are a few guides right now on YouTube where some folks have actually modded it and add other NES games. You can't add a lot, pretty much just one or two, just because there's not a lot of built-in memory to the system. I think some of those folks that are modding are trying to find ways to expand that memory. I'm not sure how far they've gotten, but it is a kind of a cute kind of trip down memory lane. I definitely like it. I had to pick up one for my collection just to have it. But thanks for watching. Glad you guys watched this overview. Please like and subscribe.